Hello guys, today we'll be studying about window functions. What are the use cases? How is it different from normal aggregate functions? What are the different type of window functions and their relevant use cases? In the end, we'll also deep dive into one of the top interview questions. So window functions, they help simplify some really complex problems and are essential to upskill ourselves in SQL. What exactly are the window functions? Whenever you want to aggregate the data or look at any sort of summary visualization, but you want the original data intact, you also want the original columns along with the aggregate data, is when we'll use the window function. They are different from the basic SQL queries that we write. So let's look at the syntax first. It is function name over partition by the column name, order by column name, rows or range unbounded, preceding and current row. Let's understand it step by step. So we'll start with any select star function and then followed by we'll be starting with any select, take column names, the base columns in that we want, and then the function name, the window function name, which could be sum, it could be max, it could be count, and there are numerable other more. Over partition by column name. This is an optional field depending on at what level do you want the data to be aggregated. For example, let's look at, let's also understand with the given example. You have a table sales data where you have the data at a user level, the sales level, region, and other fields. What you want here is you want the base field information. What is the salesperson name? What is the sales that they have done? Which region do they belong to? And then we want across that region, what is the total sales which has been contributed? So we want the partition by at region level. Hence, the partition by column. Order by column name, we have not used this in our case, but in the instances when we are using the window function like ranking, or we also want offset values like lead or lag, some other window functions where we want the window function to be applied at a certain range, at a certain order level. That is when we'll be using the order by. So order by, it can be like order by any sales date or transaction date, or it could be at any amount level also, salary. What is the rows or range unbounded preceding and current row? Again, this is also an optional step. This helps us understand if we want, in this case, what we are taking the total sum of sales at a given region level. But if we want to limit it just to 3 rows or just to 4 rows given on any of our required condition, we can use the range level, range in our syntax. What it does, it applies the window function at your given grouping level, whatever ordering you have done, and it limits the aggregation which is done at the range that you have specified. It could be, in a given case, what we have done is, if you are standing at a third row, it will include the third row and all the rows prior to that. It won't include any row after your current row. So it is not calculating the total sum of sales across the overall region data. It is only limiting us to the 3 sales data at once. Now let's look at what is the difference between normal aggregate functions and window functions. Normal aggregate functions, when you want just an aggregate level of data. In our case, if we have each employee's salary data, and if we want just what is the overall department salary, what is the total salary at each department, that is when we'll use the normal aggregate functions. But if we want the original data. We also want all the employees' data along with their comparison of their salary with the total department salary. That is when we'll use the window function. So what it is doing is, it is calculating the sum of salary at a group by level of department. So partition by works as the group by in the previous case. If we remove the partition by, we'll get a comparison of every employee's salary with the total summation of the salaries. So instead of 3 lakh, it will be 3 lakh plus 2 lakh 80,000. You can also replace sum by max of salary, count of salaries, average of salaries. So all these aggregate functions can be used in a similar fashion. Then we'll get any employee's salary compared to the average salary of that department or the max salary of the department. So the only difference between a normal aggregate function and window function is that the normal aggregate function collapses the rows and it will only provide us with the final aggregate data. But if we want also to see the base data and we want to compare it with the aggregated data, that is when we'll use the window function. What are the different type of window functions? There are aggregate functions which we studied right now: sum, average, max, count. There are ranking functions: rank, dense rank, row number. These are used to find the rank, the order of the data. What is the ranking of the data basis any given condition? It could be the ranking within any particular department basis their salary, or this can also be used to find the duplicates in the data. Offset functions are lead and lag. It helps us to compare any given row with its preceding or its succeeding data at a given time. So you keep the original data intact and you can compare it with its previous or afterwards data. Percentile function, as the name suggests, are used to find the percentiles of the data. The 25th percentile, what is the median of the data? We'll be studying the ranking, offset and percentile functions separately in a video with the relevant examples. So please do watch that video for a detailed understanding of these concepts. Now let's look at an example. So this is a question from an Amazon interview. What is required here? We want the 2 highest grossing products within each category in the year 2022. What is our data? So we are given a data where we have every user's transaction. The data is stored as at a transaction date level. What is the amount spent? What is the user ID? What product the user has bought? And in which category does it belong to? From this data, what we want is that within each category, what are the 2 highest grossing products? The products which have the maximum amount spent in the year 2022. And the output should be in this particular format. We want each category with the 2 products and what is the total spending. Now let's look at the solution and understand it in detail. First, we'll break the solution into the problem. First, we'll break the problem into subparts. So what we want is, we want 2 highest grossing products within each category. Before that, what we want is every category's each product's total spend. And then after that total spend, we'll be ranking the data to find the top 2. So we'll start with this subquery. This is what it exactly does. So what we do here is, at each category and product level, we are finding what is the total spending in the year 2022, given we only want the data from 2022, and we are grouping it at category and product level. Now we also want to find the top 2 products at any category level. So what we have done is, we have done the ranking at a partition by category, given we want products at a category level, and then we have done it order by sum spend descending, because we want the ranking basis the maximum spend. Hence the order by sum spend descending will tell us, will rank the data in the highest order of spending. And then ranking will give for any particular category, for example, appliance, products, spend, and then what is their ranking of spending, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Now we will be taking the, now we'll get our final output. So this is a subquery which provides us with the ranking, the category, the product, and the total spend in the year 2022. And then we'll get our required output, the category, product, total spend. And in this case, given we only want the data which is ranked 2, so we'll be taking where ranking is less than or equal to 2. So this will limit us only to the top 2 orders. So this is it, guys, from my side. Please do share your opinion on how do you like the video in the comments. And if you have any questions on the window functions or regarding SQL in general, again, do let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, do click the like button. This really helps me. Thank you for watching this far. We'll be back with another video.